Man, oh man, oh man. This is Media Day. It doesn't get any better than this. The Portland Trailblazers are embarking on a new journey with an influx of young talent. We all know I believe we got some young superstars on the rise here, and it's gonna be led by the new sheriff in town, and his name is Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson was born and bred to, take over an NBA franchise at the point guard position. Everybody is going to be awaiting what he does, at this level. A lot of people feel like he may be the most NBA ready. Clearly he slipped to a team where it was some influx. Damian Lillard was there. Damian Lillard has departed. They have surrounded him with a influx of new pieces. I mean, the front court is deadly. When you discussing Aiton, when you discussing Time Lord, when you discussing, Jeremy Grant, I mean, this team ain't trash. It's going to be up to guys like him, Anthony. The list goes on. I am excited. I'm going to have a full breakdown of things that he said, because he broke down things and relationships on the Damian Lillard relationship. He's excited to work with Chauncey, and he's embracing Chauncey. I don't think the previous players embraced Chauncey. When you discussing the CJs and the Dames, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports TV for more news updates and more. Before we get into the quotes, Dex, what's the deal? It's Flight Sports, it's Media Day. What's your early thoughts on the Blazers, Scoot Henderson? What do you see from them as they embark on this new journey?
Yes, it's going to be a tall task for the Portland Trailblazers to propitiate the hearts of Rip City and those who fill in the motor night in and night out to see the departure of Dame Lillard, now residing in Milwaukee. So that right there is going to be a hell of a task in itself. And Flight, no one cares that you know until they know that you care. So it is important and a strong emphasis on Big JC, Joe Corrin, GM for the Portland Trailblazers, to make sure this don't fall on his face. And the Portland Trailblazers don't become another team that is seen as useless appendages running up and down the court, fighting inertia, or the great old adage, tail wagging the dog. He has to be very careful in his approach and how he set up Scoot Sugar Henderson and the departure of Damian Lillard.
Definitely. This whole Damian Lillard sweepstakes has definitely been a huge hoopla, and it's definitely over. I'm happy that it's over, and it's time for teams to move on. I want to give some quotes because we spoke on Mr. Dame. Scoot Henderson was asked, about their relationship, and they said whether he was in touch with Damian Lillard throughout this transition. These are the quotes specifically coming from Scoot Henderson, the new sheriff in Rip City. He says, "There was no like me trying to leave him alone because all of this. It's a business at the end of the day. I know that. I learned that. I was just focused on me and the team, the people that were on the court with me every day in the off season. That was my main focus. There was little talks like that and greetings and whatever, but there was no, too much communication there. So it seemed like it was a divide. It wasn't really as what people may have thought it was going to be. They were not going to play with each other. Dex, what's your thoughts on, the new sheriff speaking on the old sheriff leaving in their relationship? Are you surprised that Dame didn't embrace this young guy a little bit more? And what do you think about how he feels about the whole situation?
Well, I know definitely Dame wasn't going to embrace the situation regardless of who was drafted at number 3 because Dame had specifically stated he do not want to be a part of a rebuild. He wants to build forward from what they have and use whatever capital or assets that's available to fluff up the team so they can be relevant and competitive in the Western Conference and ultimately in the NBA. And JC said, okay, this is what you want. This is what you're going to get. So you don't want to be a part of what my mind sees for this team? Then guess what? Let's put you in another location, in another locale, and see how that works. Because, Flight, you can grow grass with sugar or shit. Pick the choice. And Joe Corrin, the GM for Portland Trailblazers, was the lawnmower man. And damn, did he cut that tall grass. And he looked over the horizon to see who was with it and who wasn't with it. And those who wasn't with it, he gave them the exit. He gave them the opportunity to go search and scour for new employment because he's not cutting no more checks for them. And now you have Scoot Sugar Henderson, is going to be the ingredients to grow the grass in this field inside the Moda Center. And that is going to be something to watch all season long. And let me tell you, Flight, Big JC, because, man, do we have some big cojones challenging Damian Lillard the way he did and calling Damian bluff. Big JC, he want to make sure that he has everybody on board and he have young, impressionable players that will heed the message from Coach Billups and take this to another level because Coach Billups do have a championship. He do have a championship. And he was a driven player, and he was the engine in that Detroit fisticuff against the Los Angeles Lakers. And then he came back to play the San Antonio Spurs. But that was a different fate, and it turned out not in his favor. But he knows what it likes to get there, and he knows what it's like to get over the hump. So Coach Billups is ready and eager to put his hands on the putty of these players and mold them into something. And Joe Corrin wants to make sure with the most inner fibers of his being that this thing don't fall apart upon close inspection. Right. The Portland Trailblazers, Rip City. Let's go, Moda.
Let's go. I think they got a lot of weapons, out there in Portland. I think they're going to be very dangerous. Rookie of the Year predictions. What do you see Scoot Henderson's chances?
I know Scoot Henderson will be in the top 3 of Rookie of the Year. I cannot say just yet because it's early, and neither of these sensational rookies coming in from this draft, and even what's my boy name? From OKC, Chet Holmgren. He will be a part of that conversation as well. Chet Holmgren will definitely be a part of that conversation as well. So let's watch the ball bounce in these young men's hand who are front runners for Rookie of the Year, and it could be some outside dark horse that might come in and spoil the plan. Let's wait and see. Let's look at some training camp. Let's look at some preseason. Let's look at first 10 games of the NBA, and you can get some kind of feel of who's going to emerge as the front runner of Rookie of the Year, Flight.
Absolutely. We're going to be keeping eyes on antennas on the situation. We wish Rip City the best of luck. They are rolling out a phenomenal roster this year. They're going to be nothing to scoff at. Let's see what happens. It's Flight Sports TV. It's Media Day.